Hey, shalom, and welcome to another edition of Maccabees TV News. It's your brother Priest Daniela, Lions of Israel, Maccabees Lions Council. I have not been on this channel in a while, so I'm over here today because we got to build this channel up, especially in the current climate of YouTube trying to censor truth. So, in today's news, and some of you brothers and sisters have heard about it, and some of you brothers and sisters have not heard about it. So, let's go ahead and share my screen and let's look at what's going on in this wonderful world that we live in. So, in the news right now, we have an actor by the name of Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Williams, right? If you don't know who Billy D. Williams is, you might want to ask your grandma. She knows who Billy D. Williams is. He was a huge, huge star in the 70s and in the 80s. And I would even say on into the early 90s. Billy D. Williams, he was a huge star. So the agenda continues. Billy D. Williams of Star Wars fame now describes himself as being gender fluid, right? The actor who played Lando Calrissian in the 1980s said he is both feminine and masculine. So another brother is being used as a guinea pig to push the agenda. How interesting. Before we read this article, let's go ahead and let's take a look at some of the movies that you might have seen that had him in it. So as I mentioned, he was in all the Star Wars movies. He was in Return of the Jedi in 1983. Before that, he was in The Empire Strikes Back. He was also in the Star Wars movie this year, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Okay. He was also in Batman, the original Batman in 1989 with Jack Nicholson playing the Joker. He was in all these movies, all these years. If you go back to the 70s and the 80s, he was a big, big, big star. He was considered to be, quote unquote, a sex symbol. Let me play this real quick clip right here from the TV show The Jeffersons. Now, again, this is like your grandparents. They would know about this stuff, right? So let's take a look at Billy D. Williams on The Jeffersons. Check this out, y'all. Check it out.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Is this the Jefferson's apartment?
Billy D, come on in. Hey, I'm George Jefferson.
Billy D. Williams.
Oh, you ain't got to tell me that. Hey, Billy D, I want you to meet my wife, Louise.
Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Jefferson.
You know, now that I look back on these old shows, he does look a little fluid. He does look like he got a little fluidity to him. That's what we're gonna call it nowadays, because nowadays on YouTube you can't say certain words. So we're gonna call it fluidity, right? Yeah, he did have a little fluidity about him, but he was a so-called sex symbol. That's what he was, right?
Oh, call me Louise, Dilly D. Willie Dill. Can I call you?
You can call me anything you want, Louise. Billy D, Billy, it doesn't matter.
All these dudes that play the ladies band on TV, a lot of these dudes that sing all that sensual R&B, a lot of these dudes are fluid. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it fluid. That's what they're calling it. So we're going to call it that too. I like that. They're fluid. Didn't y'all just see that they had John Legend? He's the sexiest man alive. John Legend, you could take one look at him and see he's fluid. So the agenda continues. They're taking it all the way back now, not to just your stars, not just your mama's stars, but your grandmama's sex symbols are now fluid. They're all fluid. And most of the people that's coming forward doing this is our people. The agenda continues. So like I said, we'll go back to the article. Let's read the article real quick, right? So he said he's both feminine and masculine. Now, remember, there's this thing that's being pushed gradually where men, It's called toxic masculinity, right? And a lot of males are also telling you that they have a feminine side. Oh, we got a feminine side. And the conscious community tells you, hey, the embryo in the mother's womb starts off as a female, right? Then you have some niggas in the conscious community that says that men are really degenerate women and that your Y chromosome is really a degenerate X. So it's everywhere. You can't escape it. If you're in the world, you're fluid. If you're in the conscious community, you're a degenerate male. So either way, the fluid agenda is in full swing. It's, man, let's go ahead and read the article. Let's go ahead and read the article. It's supposed to be news, right? I ain't supposed to be getting hyped. It's supposed to be news. All right. So Billy D. Williams, the actor best known for his role as Lando Calrissian in the 1980s Star Wars film, revealed he identifies as gender fluid during a recent interview with Esquire magazine. Williams, 82 years old. So this dude decides to come out now and tell you at 82 years old he's fluid. Nah, he has always been fluid. Always. That ain't new. Described his legacy as a colorful character who doesn't take himself or herself too honestly. Did y'all see that? Who doesn't take himself or herself too seriously. So at 82 years old, he doesn't know if he's a him or her. This is crazy. Man. Let's continue. Ah, man. I never tried to be anything except myself, Williams told Esquire in an interview that was published Tuesday. And you see, I say himself and herself. So he says himself and herself because I also see myself as feminine as well as masculine. Isn't this wonderful? Isn't this wonderful how the agenda always pushes one of us forward? Somebody who back in the 80s and the 70s was considered to be a sex symbol. This guy right here that had the women all fawning over him, and he calls himself a himself and a herself at the same time. Wow. I'm a very soft person. I'm not afraid to show that side of myself. How interesting. Let's continue. I went too far. Williams reprised his iconic role as the smuggler turned Cloud City administrator in the upcoming installment of space fantasy series Star Wars: The Rise of Star Walker, which is slated to hit theaters on December the 20th, right? Let's go down some more. Can I get rid of this? Yeah, I can. Good. Okay. In his interview with Williams, Esquire's Matt Miller pointed out how Donald Glover, the actor who played a young Calrissian in last year's Solo, A Star Wars Story, described the character as pansexual. So the guy that replaced Billy D. Williams in the remake of Star Wars in the updated version, he described the character as being pansexual. Y'all can go ahead and look that up. It's the same thing. It's fluid. Fluid. They're all fluid. Pansexual typically refers to an attraction to people that is not limited by a particular gender, identity, or sexual orientation. How interesting. Yeah, he's coming on to everybody, Glover said of Calrissian during an interview last year with SiriusXM after Solo's writers confirmed the character's pansexuality. And y'all tell me there's not an agenda out here? There's not an agenda? He continued, I feel like if you're in a space, it's kind of like the door is open. It's like it's like no, only guys or girls. No, it's anything. This thing is literally a blob. Are you a man or a woman? Like, who cares? Have a good time out here. Williams was reportedly thrilled to hear about Glover's remarks. You know why he was thrilled? Because he flew it too. He flew it too, so that was great news. Really, that kid is brilliant, he told Esquire. Oh, man, I went too far. Sometimes I hit that button a little too fast. My bad, y'all. My bad. Where were we? J.J. Abrams, who directed Star Wars: The Rise of Star Walker, praised Williams' performance in an email to the magazine. Lando was always written as a complex, contradictory, nuanced character, he wrote, and Billy D. played him to suave perfection. So, brothers and sisters, the agenda continues, and we, so-called black men, we continue to be the face of the agenda, or the faces of the agenda. You got John Legend, you have Malik Yoba, you have Billy D. Williams, You have so many others. And it is also permeated into the conscious community too. The last standing bastion of manhood, whether you accept it or not, is the Israelite community. All praise to the Most High for that. And hopefully the Most High keeps it that way. Well, brothers and sisters, that's it. This is your brother, Priest Daniel, Lines of Israel, Maccabees Lines Council. Like I said, I'm going to be over here a lot more. This is going to be like a news channel. I'm going to be bringing y'all all the latest news that I can find to bring to you, brothers and sisters, to try to build this channel up, because as you know, YouTube is definitely trying to censor the message. Not this message. The message of the fluid people gets out unhindered, but the message of truth, of manliness, of power, of the Most High, that's getting censored. They want to drown that out. So I'm going to build this channel up a lot more so that way if something happens to the main channel, this is the backup. Make sure you brothers and sisters, if y'all could, I know there's only a couple of y'all in here because I haven't really been on this channel much. Please hit the like button, because you brothers and sisters know the more you hit the like button is the more people that will see this video. It'll come up in their recommendations and we could build the channel up. Also be sure to share it on whatever social media platforms that you have. That'll be a tremendous help to your brother. This is your brother, Priest Daniela, Lines of Israel, Maccabees Lines Council. If I feel like it, maybe I'll be back later on the main channel. Maybe not. But with that being said, I say peace and I say shalom. Yeah, Mr. Colt 45. I forgot about that. Colt 45. I forgot all about that. Peace and blessings to the family. I say shalom.